you into action. This is Warriors Talk with your host, Lady ReShell.
Good evening. Welcome to Warriors Talk, where we are moving away from awareness towards taking action. I am your host, Lady ReShell, and we're diving into a conversation that's long overdue. The real color of breast cancer is green. Pink doesn't pay the bills. Every October, the world is painted pink. Pink ribbons, sneakers, cereal boxes, and even cars. Pink has become the color of awareness. But tonight, I want to talk to you about the real color of breast cancer, and that color is green. Why green? Because treatment, medication, and even recovery costs. And while companies profit off of the pink ribbon, too many survivors are struggling to pay their bills, afford their prescriptions, and even make it to their appointments. Green is also representing growth, so renewal, rebuilding, and even new life that comes after the battle. So tonight we're going to talk about what happens when awareness meets accountability and how we can make sure our support truly help those who are still fighting. So go ahead, grab your water, your tea, your journals, your favorite snacks, and join in on this life-saving conversation. On the last episode of Warriors Talk, Rosala and I discussed then and now the evolution of breast cancer, diagnosis, treatment, and survivorship. You can head on over to YouTube, type in Intellectual Radio, and stay connected for any episodes you may have missed. The quote of the day is: the true measure of awareness is how many lives it changes, not how many ribbons we sell. I am encouraging you to save the date, family. Warriors Talk is coming up on our ninth annual Survivor Celebration, a Reflection Gala on Saturday, October the 18th, 11, actually 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. that is. And we're going to be at the Crystal Sky Banquets in McCook, Illinois. We're celebrating all cancer survivors, warriors in battle, and we're also going to remember those who have gone on and lost their battle with breast cancer or any type of cancer that is. I just don't limit it to breast cancer because we're celebrating all cancers. So come out, support a survivor, become a sponsor, become a vendor, and help us celebrate. We're also celebrating our book launch on that day. I have 5 authors that are going to be presenting their stories. We're going to have a authors panel that day as well. You will be able to purchase a book as well as have your book signed and a picture with the author. So come out on October the 18th and join us for our ninth annual Survivor Celebration, a Reflection Gala. You can go to warriorstalk.org for more information. If you are tuned in on any form of social media, like the show, share the show. Invite someone else in on the show that you feel may benefit from this valuable information. I'm so grateful for my sponsor on today. We have Pastor Michael Richardson with the Emmanuel Church of God in Christ, who has a special message for us.
Greetings, I am Pastor Michael Richardson.
And I am First Lady Anastasia Richardson from the Emmanuel Church of God in Christ. We're located at 3058 West Van Buren in Chicago, Illinois. We are building upon a solid foundation.
And we're inviting you to join us every Sunday morning on Facebook Live at Emmanuel Kojic at 10:15 Central Standard Time. And you can also view our videos on our YouTube channel at Emmanuel Kojic-MR. Once again, this is Pastor Michael Richardson
and First Lady Anastasia Richardson. And we're from the Emmanuel Church of God in Christ. We are building upon a solid foundation.
That's my pastor and First Lady. I am so grateful for their support. They are also sponsors of our ninth annual Survivor Celebration, a Reflection Gala, so I'm so grateful for them. Our topic again today is the real color of breast cancer is green. Pink doesn't pay the bills. And we're going to talk about, first up, is the price of pink. What is the price of pink? And even though I'm wearing my pink shirt today, I'm not a pink girl. I'm not a pink girl. But for the sake of the topic of the show, we're going to talk about the price of pink. So let's start by looking at the business side of pink. The ribbon, first off, is not trademarked, so anybody can use the ribbon. You can slap that ribbon on any type of product that you want. Anybody can use it. It has been on everything from fried chicken boxes to cleaning supplies. And while it does raise awareness, it doesn't always raise an impact. So, according to Breast Cancer Action, the breast cancer awareness industry generates billions of dollars every single year. Billions. But sometimes only less than 5% of those profits actually reach programs that help patients. So even though they're slapping that pink ribbon on those products, it does not necessarily mean that all of those profits, the majority of those profits are going to help those patients that are in need. And this is actually called pink washing. And if you haven't heard the term before, pink washing is when a company uses breast cancer as a marketing tool to boost their sales, clean up their image, without actually supporting the cause. So they don't really have to support the cause, but because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and they know that people are going to feel compelled to buy things with the pink ribbon on it, so they will slap it on there. They will come up with a campaign that draw you in so that you can spend your money on these pink products. So some labels, pink labels like alcohol, processed foods, they slap it on cosmetics, and these products actually have ingredients in it that are linked to an increased risk in cancer. And the concern is that pink washing is widely used by companies that we know and that we love and we support, but we don't think about it when we are purchasing that product. Like, I'm purchasing some perfume, which is made with chemicals, unless they specify that it's free from cancer-causing agents, then you don't know. So your best bet is to read the labels before you actually purchase it. Ask questions. Is this a cancer safe product to purchase? And most of the time you would probably have to do your homework because it's not going to be readily available for you. So we're challenged with the idea that awareness alone is not enough. Awareness cannot pay bills. Awareness doesn't cover rent when a woman or man has to miss work because of chemo. Awareness doesn't buy groceries for a family when their provider is sick and has to miss work. Awareness alone is not enough. What do you do once you purchase that pink product? Do you go home and you say, oh, okay, I got this pink product, now I'm about to schedule my mammogram, I'm about to talk to my family and see what type of cancer is, in our family, what history, our breast cancer history looks like. Like, what are you doing once you buy that pink product? Do you feel satisfied after you purchase the pink product just to say, I supported breast cancer, they're going to do what they say they're going to do with the money? Or you really don't care. Once you just buy the product, you feel like, oh, I've done my job. I've done what I was supposed to do, and they can do whatever they want to do when it comes to the awareness product or the profit side of it. And that's why we have to move away from awareness towards taking action. There are real stories, real struggles when it comes to breast cancer, when it comes to the pink ribbon. We always say breast cancer is not confined to just the month of October. Breast cancer is all year round, 365 days, 7 days a week, 24 hours. People are dealing with breast cancer. And according to statistics, studies show that nearly 60% of cancer survivors experience financial distress during their treatment. And that pink ribbon may symbolize awareness, but the green represents action. And that green is the money. You show somebody some money and you can get them moving to do just about anything that you want them to do. And it's heartbreaking that some survivors actually lose their job, lose their homes, and sometimes they have to make the heartbreaking decision between medication or meals. Should I spend my money on this copay, or should I use this money to buy food for my family or healthy food for me to eat while I'm in treatment? And when I was walking through my own journey, I learned that cancer doesn't just attack your body, it tests your faith, your finances, your support system, and you truly learn who's in your corner. I had people from my church bringing me food, giving me money, making sure that my daughters were okay. My mom made sure she stepped up, stepped in. My daughters, my sons, like my oldest daughter was there to help me with the girls when I wasn't able to even comb their hair. Like so many things that we probably take for granted on a daily basis, that when you're going through a breast cancer diagnosis, you're not able to do so. You need people to help support you through that journey. And you find out just how important your support system is. So awareness, it didn't just pay for your treatment, right? Awareness pays for what? That product that you buy, the product that it costs for them to make that campaign. That's what it pays for. But it's the green, it's the money, it's the generosity of people who showed up with meals, who donated, who just gives out of the goodness of their heart, that actually helped me and many others get through their cancer treatment. People need people. Money talks. We've all heard that saying, that money talks. When you have money, people listen. You have zeros behind your name and your bank account, people will listen to you. Again, sometimes people do some strange things for change. And when it comes to October, you're doing something strange when you're buying pink products and you have no idea where that money is going and who it is going to help. So tonight, I want you to think differently about support. Pink may symbolizes awareness, but green represents action. So how do you spot real impact when you are purchasing these products, when you want to be a person who helps individuals that may be in need, and you may be giving and purchasing products out of goodness of your heart, thinking that it's going to do that, and then it's the organization, the person behind the organization that actually have ill intent, and they're not truthful or upfront about what they're doing with the money. So before you purchase something pink this month, I want you to ask yourself these 3 questions. Number 1, how much of this product actually go towards the breast cancer cause? And you can definitely ask that organization that question. You know, this product is $9.99. How much is going towards the breast cancer cause? And what is your breast cancer cause? What is the cause that you're donating it to? Are you donating it to an individual and their family? Are you donating it to what? What's the cause? Don't just donate blindly. You might as well just take that money, burn it up, throw it in the street, and throw it up in the air and let it just fall wherever and let people grab it. Like, where? How much of this purchase is actually going towards breast cancer? And you would be surprised how much it actually is going towards breast cancer. Sometimes out of $1, it may be 5 cents. It may be less than that. The second question is, what organization receives this money? What cancer organization received this money? Because a lot of times organizations that are collecting money or selling products, they will already have their organizations picked out that they want to donate this money to. And it may be 1% of the profits, 2% of the profits from the sales, maybe 10% or less than that. It could be, okay, 5% of the profits that we sell is gonna go to, let's just say, the American Cancer Society. And they'll get that maybe 1 or 2% of whatever they sell. And the rest of that money is going to that organization. The third question is, what programs does it fund? Does it fund research, screenings, education, or direct patient support? Those are important questions because you want to know. Maybe you don't want your money going towards research. Maybe you want it going towards screenings. Maybe you want it to go towards education. Maybe you want to see your money go directly to support a patient. And I would say if that's the case, then put it in the patient's hands, so that you know they got the money, and whatever it is that the patient needs to spend that money on, whether it's treatment, whether it's groceries, whether it's a copay, to pay a cell phone bill, or to pamper themselves, then you know that you have done your part. So when in doubt, just put it directly into their hands, or whatever, buy or purchase whatever it is that they need. You can buy, if they don't have a car and they're trying to get to treatment, you can give them an Uber gift card, so they'll make sure they can get back and forth to treatment. You can give them a gift card to their grocery store, local grocery store. Make sure they have groceries. It's different things that you can do to put it directly in their hands to know that you have made an impact. And not to say that donating to these organizations that collect these monies, that do these runs and these walks and these fundraisers, that the money is not getting to direct patient support. But a lot of times if you ask, you will be surprised where the money is going and how much of it is going to support them. So ask those questions, because if the company cannot answer those questions, then that's a big red flag. Because true support doesn't mean, it doesn't come in the form of that ribbon, that pink ribbon, but it comes from that organization being accountable, being transparent, and actually being compassionate about what it is that they're supporting. So you can make a greater impact, again, by giving to that person directly, or giving to your local organizations that help patients right here in your community, like Warriors Talk. We help individuals. We have our Warrior in Battle Fund, where we help individuals that are in battle, and we give the money directly to them. Like my money that I raise, that individuals donate, it doesn't go towards research, it doesn't go towards screening, it goes directly to those who are fighting cancer. So you may have organizations right here in your community that helps with mammograms, transportation, or emergency aid. Warriors Talk doesn't just give money once a year. I have survivors that contact me throughout the year and say, hey, I'm going through this. Is Warrior Talk able to help? Whatever I'm able to help with, guess what? I'm sending it to them. I also have partners that I can call and say, hey, I have an individual who is going through this. How much can you contribute? And then we would put our funds together and we would send it to them. So let's be intentional about where we give, how we give, and what we stand for, to make sure that you are making an impact and that the patients that actually need it is actually getting to them. Because a lot of times it may not be. Awareness is about accountability. When you get the awareness, is it moving you to action? What are you getting from awareness? I always say most of the people probably get home and probably don't even think about what it is that people were trying to get them to be aware about. Our attention span is so short. You get home, you get busy, the kids are pulling on you to do stuff, the husband is pulling on you, and you may forget The pamphlet that somebody gave you, you may sit to the side and never read it. And that's why we constantly push awareness, right? We constantly push it because awareness is successful at raising money, absolutely, but it's not as successful as getting people to take action. So this October, don't just wear pink, but do something powerful with your pink. Think about what it is that you can do with your pink. There's an organization out here called Equal Hope, and they help individuals with mammograms, transportation. They connect you with services if you don't have insurance. They help you with that. Those are organizations that you can donate to, that you know where your money is going. You can educate your family about early detection. Charity starts at home. Talk to your family, especially if you are a cancer survivor. Or if you just went to an awareness event, go home and share with your family about what it is that you learned. It starts at home. And if we're not having these tough conversations about breast cancer, about what type of diseases that are running in our family, if we're always running from that conversation, people in our family are still getting sick, they're still dying, and they don't have to. Because if you know that breast cancer runs in your family, prostate cancer runs in your family, colon cancer runs in your family, you can have these conversations with individuals in your family so that they know to get screening early. They know to talk to their doctor about getting screened early. My daughters, I was diagnosed at 43, so they know at 33, they should be talking to their doctors about some type of screening, monitoring, something, because they're at risk because I was diagnosed. Doesn't necessarily mean they're going to get breast cancer, but I want them to take charge of their breast health, and part of that is having a conversation with their doctor to find out what it is that they can do to take charge of their health. You can advocate for health equality. A lot of time we don't go the extra step, right? Access to health care is like on the line right now. With the government being shut down, so many people are frightened about their insurance, and you can write your congressmen and women to say, hey, this is what we would like to see happen. We're voting you in office, and we want to see our community to have access to quality care. We want to see our community to have clinics that have machines, mammograms, x-ray machines that work, that are quality. We want to have the same access to care that they have in these neighborhoods that are wealthy, because our health is just as important. And I always try to bring God into the conversation, because faith is important, especially when you're going through a cancer diagnosis. According to James 2:17, it reminds us that faith without works is dead. So you should be taking some type of action, whether it's with your health, whether it's with your family, whether it's with writing your congressmen and women. You should be taking some type of action. And 1 John 3:18 says, let us not love with words or speech, but action and in truth. We should be taking action. Awareness is never enough. So let's talk about how you can move from awareness towards action. What it is that you can do on a daily basis to take action with your health and to have conversations with the people in your family that you love so that they can stay healthy too. Open your mouth. It doesn't take much to have a conversation about, oh girl, let's go Schedule our mammograms. After that, we can go eat lunch. We can go shopping. Make it a fun day. Let's not just talk about awareness, but let's take action, because the breast cancer color pink, it doesn't save lives. It just makes you aware that it exists. But the color green, the color of money, it gets people moving. It keeps your lights on, it keeps your prescriptions filled, and it gives you hope. If somebody gives you some money and you was feeling down, guess what it's going to do? It's going to lift your spirits. If somebody give you a pink ribbon, it's going to be like, oh, okay, that's the breast cancer symbol. And then you go home and you do what? So let's think differently about Breast Cancer Awareness Month, right? Share this broadcast with someone. I challenge you to do that. Share this broadcast with someone that you love, someone that you want to take action. Part of your action would be to share the broadcast out, so someone else can get this information and they can make informed decisions about the money that they donate to organizations, about the action that they take with their lives when it comes to breast cancer awareness, and moving beyond that awareness and moving towards action. There's so many things that you can do that we just don't, because we just don't have time. But believe me, breast cancer is not waiting. It is not waiting for nobody. Hey, Kenya, Kenya said, come on here and teach. We have to make sure that we are doing more than just spreading this awareness. It says less than 5% of the pink ribbon product sales go to research or to aid a patient that's in need. Less than 5%. Again, if you really want to make an impact, if you really want to help someone who's going through breast cancer, put it directly into their hands. Or donate to your local organizations that you know that are helping. We Too Care Agency, donate, make a donation. They're out there on the front lines every single day helping individuals. And it doesn't take much to send a Zelle, click that button, send a Cash App. At least you know where your money is going. At least you can see the people that is impacting in that community. It doesn't take much. It doesn't. I think sometimes when we give, we be lazy about giving. We be like, oh, I donated to that charity, and then you go about your business. No, you should want to see where your money is going. And it's so easy to see that when you donate to a local organization. It's so, you can come out and volunteer with the local organization. Call them up and say, hey, I see that you're collecting money for donations, and I would like to come out and not only donate, but donate my time as well. And then that way you get to see firsthand exactly what it is that they're doing. And then word of mouth, you can spread that to other people that you know and say, girl, I went and I volunteered with We Care 2 Agency, and guess what they're doing in the hood? Guess what they're doing in their community? And that brings in more money, that brings in more resources, and they're able to help more people, they're able to make a bigger impact. And so do you. You made the impact as well. So don't be afraid to get out and get your hands dirty. 60% of survivors experience financial distress during their treatment, according to the Journal of Clinical Oncology. You would be surprised at individuals when they're going through treatment that sometimes they may be fatigued, sometimes they may have to go down to working part-time and not able to work, and sometimes they just may have to resign, take a leave of absence, especially if they are a breadwinner in their family. Now they have to depend on getting assistance. And that alone can be stressful while you're trying to fight cancer. You should not have to worry about where your funds are coming from. 1 in 3 women skip or delay care due to the cost after a diagnosis. Sometimes you're left with bills. You have bills on top of bills. And you may skip or delay because you don't want to rack up any more bills. You don't want them sending those bills to collections. So sometimes you may skip it, you may delay it, and that's not going to help anybody, especially when it comes to cancer. The last thing you want to do is to delay anything. The average cost of breast cancer treatment ranges from $20,000 to $100,000, depending on your stage and the type of breast cancer that you have. And this is according to the American Cancer Society. That's a lot. And if you have how many treatments? I think I had 16 rounds of chemo and 33 rounds of radiation. That's a lot of money. And that's why the color is green instead of pink. 25% of survivors report using their retirement or credit cards to pay for treatment, according to the National Cancer Institute. You should not have to dig into your retirement or your credit cards to pay for treatment. You should not have to do that. Then when you retire, what are you going to rely on? Now you're stressed out about retiring. Now you may not even be able to work, because sometimes when you go through cancer treatment, it decreases your quality of life. So you may not even be able to work because you don't have the energy. Or you may walk away with some type of disability from treatment. You may have lymphedema. You may have neuropathy, and you may not be able to work. So if this conversation has made you think differently about Breast Cancer Awareness Month, then I've done my job. We should be thinking differently. It's not all about pink, but it's about what you do with that information. What do you do when Breast Cancer Month is over? When the galas are not there? When you don't see any of the pink campaigns splashed all over social media? But behind the scenes, those survivors, they're still fighting. They're still struggling. The bills are still due. They're still hungry. They're still trying to get to treatment. They still have co-pays. What are you doing then? And not to say that you're responsible for someone who's going through treatment, but if they don't have the necessary funds to do it and they're reaching out, support them. Tracy Kincaid is selling t-shirts and hats to help support herself through her breast cancer diagnosis. You can go to tracykincaid.com and support her. And you know that the money is going directly to her as she is in active treatment. It doesn't take much. If you are tuned in right now, I'm live on Intellectual Radio. This is Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell, and I'm talking about the real cost of breast cancer is green, because pink does not pay bills. There are some organizations that have cases that are questionable when it comes to pink campaigns and charities, and one of them is the Women's Cancer Fund or the Cancer Recovery Fund. And these organizations have had, according to a lawsuit that is, they have had several organizations where they have raised money and the money not get to individuals. So the Women's Cancer Fund and the Cancer Recovery Fund, they had a lawsuit that was filed, and raised, in fact, $18.25 million that was raised between 2017 and 2022, claimed to help women with cancer, but guess what? Only $194,809, 1%, went directly to aid patient services. Most of the funds went to the president's salary and for profit fundraisers. That's so sad. $18 million and only 194,000 went to help. But the president is sitting on a big salary to do what? And this is why it's important to ask those questions. Ask the questions as to where this money is going. Yes, we want to donate. We want to donate. We want to be able to help individuals. But if you have no idea where that money is going, you're being deceived about how they're using their money. Susan G. Komen is a foundation that we all know, we all identify with when it comes to breast cancer. While not exactly the company, but Komen is often cited in the Pink Ribbon Partnership, and they have faced criticism over their financial allocations and pink washing because they have the ties to organizations that pink wash. So at some point, it was reported that 29% or 20.9% of the funds was going towards research. And the rest was going towards the administrative fees, awareness, and overhead. That's a lot of money that is missing from research, that's missing from screenings, that's missing from direct patient care. And these organizations have faced criticism for the expensive executive salaries and the marketing heavy campaigns that they have, and not being transparent about what they're giving. Again, that pink ribbon is not trademarked, so anybody can use it and slap it on any type of product. And those products can be harmful to individuals, and they can increase your risk of cancer. So just think about the product that you're buying and the ingredients that's in that product that could potentially be linked or increase your risk to cancer. The chemicals, when you're buying processed food that has that pink ribbon on it, fast food campaigns that slap that pink ribbon on it. Think twice. KFC slapped it on a bucket of chicken. Bucket for a cure. I'm encouraging you to think before you pink. Yoplait was doing the pink lids with their yogurt, and they was criticized because although their lids drew awareness and sales, the dairy product that they were using produced hormones, producing criticism because it was inconsistent with causing or increasing your risk of getting cancer. People was putting ribbons on generic products as well. A lot of times, less than 10% that they're raising is going towards breast cancer. Now, breast cancer month may be over, but that pink ribbon may still be on those products. But they pick out a charity that they want to donate to, so they may pick a charity that they want to donate to for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And when that month is over and they have donated their less than 1 to 5% to that charity, if that pink ribbon is still on that product, then the product profit goes to that organization. Yes. And sometimes the product wants you to do extra things like mail in proof of purchase or go online and activate this. And a lot of times when you get home, you're not doing it. You done donated. But a lot of times when you get home, you're not doing all of that. Because you just don't have the time. So pinkwashing can be harmful to individuals who think that they are doing the right thing by donating because organizations slap that pink ribbon on your products. But I encourage you to think about it before you purchase any pink product, whether it's clothing, whether it's food, whatever it is. Think about it and how it's helping breast cancer patients. Ask the questions, go on their website, read the campaign that they have, see where that money is going, what percentage is going towards breast cancer patients, screening, mammograms, before you make a donation. Always think before you pink. Don't just give blindly. Ask where the money is going. How is it helping breast cancer patients? How many breast cancer patients is going to help? And what was the profit that you made last year when you ran this campaign? And how much was donated to that organization at that time? And I guarantee you that you would be surprised at how much is being donated. And I don't want to discourage you from donating, but do a little research when you donate. Don't just give blindly. All right, I hope that I have encouraged you guys to think before you pink and to remember that the real color of breast cancer is green, because pink don't pay any bills and because awareness is not enough. So again, you can take action with today's show by sharing out this live to an individual that you know that donates all the time and they're satisfied with just donating and not knowing where their money is going. Put the money directly into the hands of that survivor that's fighting. Donate to your local organizations. Volunteer with your local organizations. All right, that's my rant for today. I encourage you to think before you pink. I want to highlight my sponsor, Gloria Dotson with Mary Kay. She is catering to all of your beauty needs from head to toe. You can go to marykay.com and you can purchase some beauty products from her. Let her know that Warriors Talk sent you. And Warriors Talk is always looking for individuals to share their story. You can inbox me at warriorstalk.org or you can inbox me as well. Marie Kenya's comment, she says, do your research before you donate. Amen. Do your research. Don't just donate blindly, you guys. Do your research. And don't forget that Warriors Talk is having our 9th annual Survivor Celebration, a reflection gala taking place this Saturday at the Crystal Sky Banquets, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. You can come out and support, purchase a ticket, you can be a vendor, you can be a sponsor, and you can be there as we donate money to an individual that's in battle at that moment. And don't forget, you will be able to witness the book launch and signing for When Warriors Talk Faith Emerges. The authors will be on site to sign the book, take a picture with you, and you can support them in their journey. I will leave you with these words of wisdom. Awareness raises millions, but action saves lives. So join me next Monday at 6 p.m. right here on Intellectual Radio. As always, thank you for tuning in to Warriors Talk with author and founder Lady ReShell, where we are changing lives one warrior at a time.
Listening to this week's edition of Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell. To find out more about Warriors Talk, follow at Warriors Talk, the number 1, on all social media outlets, and Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell on YouTube. Please join us next week and every Monday evening at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on intellectualradio.com for Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell, where we encourage, educate, and empower you into action.